we're going to take on another example of dimensional analysis. This time we're going to be converting miles per hour to units of feet per second. The question is, if you're traveling at 50 miles per hour, how many feet per second are you going? The first thing I'd like to do is decide which conversions we need to make, because this has at least two major conversions. The first one is length, and the second one will be time. Our conversion for length will be starting with miles and heading with the end goal of feet. This is actually a reasonably easy conversion. You start with miles, and 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. We'll come back to that in a moment. Now the other conversion is time. We're starting off with hours, and we're heading toward the unit of seconds. Now we have one other major unit in between these two, that being minutes. I would recommend a conversion that starts with hours, takes you to minutes, and then takes you to seconds. So 1 hour is the equivalent of 60 minutes, and there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. Now that we have our conversions planned, let's start doing the conversion itself. We start writing down with what we know, which is 50 miles in a time of 1 hour. Let's take on the miles first. 1 mile, as we said before, is a distance of 5,280 feet. We know that this conversion is correct because we can convert miles, and they cancel in the numerator and denominator. Now we're going to do our two-step conversion of time. We started off in hours, you remember, so in the numerator we take 1 hour, and that's the equivalent of 60 minutes. Now remember, we're headed towards seconds, so we need to do one additional conversion. 60 minutes can be converted away by taking 1 minute being the equivalent of 60 seconds. Now again, we'll make sure that our conversions are correct by canceling the denominator and numerator for minutes, and then the numerator and denominator for hours. Now what we're left with in the very end is a unit of feet per second. Let's go back up to the question to make sure that this is correct. We're looking for feet per second. We're on the right track. Once we have these final units correct, all we have to do is the math at the end. So let's distill this problem down into the math. We take 50, which was divided by 1. It's now multiplied by 5,280, and again 1 and 1 in the numerator. Let's extend this, and the denominator will be the product of 1, 1, 60, and 60. When you plug this into your calculator, you'll get an approximate answer of 73.33, and again the units of feet per second. Now that we're all done, we've found out that it's just over 73 feet per second that is the equivalent of 50 miles per hour.